Good evening. The meeting for the Human Resources Education Committee as a whole meeting for August 1st is now coming to order. We'll have a roll call. Ms. Coakley.
Mrs. Heinz? Mr. Green? Mr. Derman? Mr. Loop? Mr. Harrell? Mr. Nation? Mrs. Richardson? Mr. Winkler? Mrs. Drucker? Mr. Bittencourt? Mrs. Lamy? Mr. Hersey? Mr. Breaux? Mr. Kuzan?
Here.
Mrs. Page?
Thank you. Please stand and join us in invocation and pledge led by Ms. Lamy.
Dear Lord, thank you so much for bringing us here tonight safely, Father. We ask you to please be with us, Lord, to guide our decision-making, to listen with an open mind, and to keep the students and teachers at the forefront of all of our decisions. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on to the recognition of visitors. Any board members have any visitors that they'd like to recognize? Thank you. We move on to item 2, public comments, 5 minutes. Do we have any? Seeing none. We move to public comments, 3 minutes. Seeing none, we move on. Item 3, approval of the minutes for committee as a whole meeting held on July 11, 2019. Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Hurley, second by Ms. Heinz. Any questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Everyone, please vote.
Yeas, 1 abstention.
13 yeas, 1 abstention, the motion passed. We move on to item 4, human resources. Mr. Javier.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Kuzan.
Thank you, sir. We move on to item 5, instruction. Summer Institute, Ms. Meyer.
Good evening, Superintendent Fultz, board members. It's a pleasure tonight to come to you and share information about an exciting professional development opportunity that we provided for our school administrators and teachers in June. This year was our 3rd annual Summer Institute, which is designed to provide our teachers and school administrators training in areas that support them in providing the highest quality education and support services for our students during the year. The theme this year for Summer Institute was Learning with the Stars. This year's Summer Institute was held at Lakeshore High on June 11th and 12th. The school was transformed into an exciting Hollywood-themed place that was welcoming to all the participants. We had over 1,100 educators in attendance at our Summer Institute in June. There were 950 school administrators and teachers at the event, as well as 146 presenters. Our presenters included our very own St. Tammany teachers, school administrators, supervisors, curriculum specialists, instructional coaches, as well as interventionists. Over 270 sessions were offered to our educators. They covered a variety of topics, including administrative, assessment, early childhood, English learners. We had the content areas, English language arts, math, science, social studies. Electives were covered in the sessions, social emotional topics, special education, technology, and just a range of general education topics. The ideas for the sessions for Summer Institute were gathered from our teachers through a teacher interest inventory that we conducted in January and through information we received from school administrators as well as district leaders regarding the needs of our schools. Participants were able to choose up to 3 1-hour, 45-minute sessions each day of Summer Institute. They were able to pre-register on our district Go Sign Me Up website. And they used, the participants used the Attendify app. This was the second year they got to use that app. And it allowed participants to interact with other participants of Summer Institute, get information about the sessions that were being covered, as well as to interact through comments and pictures. And the teachers love posting pictures on that app. We had a tremendous amount of school system support for our Summer Institute to ensure that it was a success for all who attended. Special thanks, Fontainebleau High's graphic arts students. They are amazing. What they do, they designed the logo for our Summer Institute. They printed all the banners, the welcome banner that greeted every participant as they walked in Lakeshore High. They also printed T-shirts for our presenters and our helpers at Summer Institute. And they printed 1,100 Walk of Fame stars that had all the educators' names on them. Lakeshore High, we'd like to offer a huge thanks. They allowed us to use their beautiful facility for the 3rd year in a row at Summer Institute. And they were so supportive as we transformed their facility into an exciting Hollywood venue. The talented art students of Lakeshore High actually created, they're so talented, it's amazing. They created this beautiful backdrop that our teachers and administrators used in the photo booth to take fun pictures during the 2-day event. And a special thanks to our maintenance department. We couldn't do it without them. They bring us everything we need, from tables to chairs to ice chests, and they refill them every day for us. And we'd like to thank our IT department. Lewis was kind enough to let us have a few texts for those for that week, and we couldn't have done it without, to make sure all the technology needs were met for all those sessions. A fun thing we did this year was the St. Tammany Walk of Fame, and what a great way to celebrate our educators. Lining the main hallway of Lakeshore High were over 1,100 stars that represented every educator who attended Summer Institute. Each star had our educators' names on them, and it was amazing. You could see teachers and administrators walking up and down the hall trying to find their star each day. I know Mr. Fultz was there, and he even found his star. So it was, they loved that. They wanted their stars. We did let them take their stars on the last day because they wanted to go back to their school with them and display them proudly at their school. We couldn't do Summer Institute without a lot of community support. We had 6 different food trucks. Our educators love those food trucks that provided a variety of options for delicious lunches each day. We had over 20 community vendors who were there and basically shared information about products and services that were available in the community for them. We got so many door prizes that were donated from local businesses because they wanted to support our educators and show their appreciation for all the hard work that they do every day for our students and parents. And then finally, we were thrilled. We were able to get the Marine Corps Band from New Orleans for the 2nd year in a row, and they provided entertainment during both days during the lunchtime in the cafeteria. And they're amazing, and they promised they'd come back. So we'll have they actually played music from different movies and stuff to go along with the theme. So they were really nice about that. So we did get feedback from our educators. Overwhelmingly, educators stated that Summer Institute had a profound effect on their knowledge and what they could bring back to the classroom. We used those feedback results from our educators to plan next year's event, but also to provide support throughout the school year, follow-up support in the way of professional development for our administrators and teachers. When asked how our educators would take the knowledge that they learned and implement it in their classrooms, participants gave, and I've put some of the responses that kind of stood out that I wanted to share. You know, one response, I was so excited that I'm discovering about how to establish learning intentions and success criteria to improve how I instruct, how I support, assess, and provide feedback to my students. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to attend. Another person said that over the last years, professional development has become such a priority, and it's so exciting for us as educators because it enhances our effectiveness on student progress. One of our administrators said they were able to collaborate and learn alongside other administrators as well as classroom teachers. They love that. And this last response I'd like to share was from a teacher. Summer Institute helps me to become a better teacher for myself. These professional development opportunities help to introduce educators to new techniques to try in their classroom. It also has made me feel more invigorated and inspired. Teachers enter into this profession because we love learning. I know for me, I want to learn more and keep mastering my craft. It is really very inspiring to walk away with new material that we can implement and try with our students and hopefully experience success, which I think is very powerful. Whoever that was hit it all. So that concludes my presentation about Summer Institute, and I just wanted to do a shout out to each of you and thank you for supporting our professional development efforts. It's being recognized by our teachers, by our administrators, and they really appreciate it. So thank you.
Ms. Myers,
Yes.
excuse me. I want to thank you for an excellent presentation. Do we have any comments or questions from the board?
I just want to thank you and everyone else that works to put it on, because I know just even the simplest thing is saying how many donations for door prizes. They didn't just come knocking on your door.
Oh, no.
You had to go to them. And so for every little thing that you do, I know how much the professional development means as an educator. And I think it's really great that y'all go so out of your way to make them feel special. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
Thank you, Mr. Cousin. Ms. Meyer,
Yes.
exactly what kind of food did y'all have there? Those food?
We get a variety. Trust me. We had Coffee Rainy. We had this red school bus called Old School Eats that does all kinds of different stuff. We had Creole Tomato. I know some of y'all have heard.
Yeah.
We're on the lookout. I think we had Nan's, is a restaurant in Mandeville. They had a truck this year. We try to get a variety. There was a pizza one too, so we try to get a variety, but they love it. They eat something different every day.
Well, that's
so.
great. That sounds
Yeah.
like fun. May have to come down there and try
Come
it
eat
out.
with us. Second week of June every year. We'll take you.
Ms. Richardson?
First of all, I would like to also thank you for your efforts. I love hearing that you took a survey to determine what the needs were so that you could truly meet the needs. And as I was listening to you and the choices, I commend you for offering early learning as part of the
Absolutely.
choices. And it just dawned on me, just a suggestion. You know, we have several schools in St. Tammany Parish that pilot. They're actually a part of the St. Tammany Parish Early Learning Network.
Yes.
Would it be possible to open an invitation to these individuals to come and be a part of this perhaps next year?
It's something we can look into. I mean, it's a huge group. This
It is.
year, I can tell you at Lakeshore High, we used when I say every classroom, the library, the cafeteria, every room was used. So
Sure.
we've almost maxed out our space there, but we keep getting more and more people every year.
Well, that's a great problem to have.
Yes,
But
yes.
and let me just tell you the why behind what I'm suggesting. We know that collaboration between those first 5 years and our kindergarten teachers is crucial. So if we can hear the direction that St. Tammany Parish is going through, and I can speak on behalf of my own school, but there are a number of early learning centers in the entire St. Tammany Parish that participate in the network that would benefit through this collaboration. And truly, it's ultimately going to benefit the children and build positive relationships with these kindergarten teachers. So it's just a
Thanks for
suggestion.
the idea. We'll
Yeah.
definitely explore it. And just so you know, because you mentioned the teacher interest inventory we did to give feedback, we had over 800 teachers responded to that inventory. So, and I think that's why we get such a large group, because we are giving the teachers the sessions and the learning that they're asking for. And I think that's why we get more and more people every year. So
That's great. Well, thank you again.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Ms. Hines?
Terry, thank you very much for your presentation. And, you know, I just want to say that I think it's very admirable that our teachers come out in such large numbers for the Summer Institute. And I think it reflects back on our mission statement, which is to create lifelong learners. And that includes our teachers. They're willing to come out and give
During
up
their summer off.
give up part of their time off on their own to participate in this professional development. And I know they find it rewarding, but the rewards that it reaps back into our system is
Absolutely.
even greater. So thank you to everyone who participated.
Thank you.
Once again, Ms. Meyer, thank you very much. We're gonna move on to item B, 5B, which is Ms. Dangerfield, new teacher induction.
Good evening, Superintendent Vos, Mr. Kuzan, and board members. Well, we continued our learning in the month of July, and that is with the new stars of St. Tammany. In July 8th through the 11th, we opened our doors to welcome our new teachers into our family of educators. We hosted our annual new teacher induction program. When we think about our new teacher induction program, we do it with 3 objectives in mind. First, we want to provide an overview of the district and set expectations for the school year. Next, we want to lay the foundation in various areas necessary for district and school success. And then lastly, this is an opportunity for them to network, opportunities for them to get to know people at their school, get to know people in their learning community, but more so for them to create teacher friends, so when they have problems, when they want to collaborate, they can pick up the phone and call, or shall I say text, IM each other whenever they want to communicate. You can see here the breakdown of the participants who participated in new teacher induction. It's 4 days long. Day 1 was 173 participants, and we are welcoming another group of teacher residents, and that's the year-long teacher residents into our school system this year. And with that, we treat them just like new teachers, so they attended new teacher induction as well. Day 2, you can see the breakdown by the different categories here. We had 168 participants, and then day 3 and 4, those are days that are allocated just to our SPED teachers, and you can see we had 65 on day 3 and then 52 on day 4. Let's take a look at the agenda that we have for new teacher induction. Well, day 1 is all about the district. We have district overview. We have presentations that talk about the professional expectations. Ms. LeMaine did that presentation. We had one with communication best practices, and that was done by Ms. Mendez. And then in the afternoon, the teachers got to choose workshops that they wanted to attend. On day 2 is curriculum day. That's where they spend the entire day either in their grade level or either the content that they will teach. Day 3 and 4, again, are spent with special education department, and then site-based orientation. That's where our individual schools are required to have an orientation so the new teachers can become acclimated to their individual schools. You can see on day 1, the district showcase. We had our very own superintendent, Mr. Foss. He kicked us off. This is very special. We always get positive comments back from our teachers who are excited that our superintendent took the time out of his day to come and share with them on the very first day of new teacher induction. We always get such positive comments, and they are excited that they have an opportunity to meet our superintendent and, of course, board members who join us, and they get the time to interact with our superintendent and hear a message about our district coming directly from our leader. And Mr. Foe shared the highlights from our 2018-2019 school year. And here you see a picture of him doing his presentation. After lunch, the teachers had an opportunity to select 3 workshops, and here are the workshops that they had to choose from. Each workshop lasted 40 minutes. They rotated to the 3 workshops that they felt best met their needs. They pre-registered for the workshops when they came in to HR to do their background checks. No matter what workshop they attended, these workshops are considered to be workshops of essential instruction. That means that they were going to benefit them no matter what workshop they participated in. Here, you see us differentiating instruction for our teachers, setting the example for what we expect our teachers to do in the classroom for our students. Day 2, Curriculum Day. Here you see our host sites. North Shore High School was our 7th through 12th grade site. Mayfield Elementary was our pre-K to 6th grade site, and then Mandeville Middle was our librarian site. We're so thankful that these schools opened their doors to us for Curriculum Day. Curriculum Day is also known as my favorite day because they get to spend the entire day with a teacher in the classroom from the morning to the evening, going through resources, collaborating, particularly about what they will be teaching for the upcoming school year. And then day 3 and day 4 is spent at the Treen Technology Center with our SPED department. Some of the topics they cover include reading and understanding of an evaluation, present level of performance standards, caseload and reading and understanding IEPs, overviews of IEPs, and artifacts that show progress. Our gifted teachers are pulled together to collaborate, and we help them to understand the expectations and the curriculum for our gifted students. Here, SPED days are differentiated once again to meet the needs of our teachers. And then last but not least, you see here a list of topics that our schools must cover as a part of their site-based orientation. They've learned about our district on day 1. Day 2, 3, and 4, they've learned more specifically about the content they're going to teach. And then here, they learn and become acclimated with their individual schools. And here you see buddy teacher assignments highlighted because we express the importance to our principals to assign them a buddy teacher. So if they have specific concerns, then they have a direct person to go to whenever they have something that they need. New teacher cohort. New teacher cohort is designed to provide additional support to our teachers. All of our presentations from new teacher induction, they go on the Moodle site under our new teacher cohort. We understand that during new teacher induction, it's a lot of information, so we want to provide them ongoing with the information so they can refer back to it. In addition, there are resources on curriculum, technology, special education, and classroom management. At the end of new teacher induction, we do survey our new teachers to find out what additional support and resources they need, and we funnel that through our Boost program, building our own superior teachers, and those are workshops that are targeted to our new teachers, and they are structured to provide the needed support directly to our new teachers based on the surveys that were completed during new teacher induction. Of course, this program could not be done without the support, both external and internal. First, we have the ladies of Delta Kappa Gamma Society. They came, they were there bright and early at 7:30 in the morning, ready to volunteer and to welcome our new teachers, and they were all retired educators. We have the St. Tammany Federation of Teachers. They were there volunteering, and they also provided lunch for our teachers. And then we have the St. Tammany Parish Credit Union. They provided breakfast for our teachers. So here you see external people coming together and providing lots and lots of treats for our new teachers. But those are the external contributors. But within our district, when I tell you, when it is time to get a task done, we truly come together as a team, like Terry said during her presentation. Mr. Foss and board members, thank you all so much for the opportunity for us to host new teacher induction for our new educators. When we see such bubbly faces who are excited to come and be a part of our school system, you know, it just does something to your heart because they are truly excited. And then when you have those teacher residents who were student teachers and then they come back as an educator, then that makes it even more special. To Stacy McGee, who is the program chair, she goes above and beyond working towards the success of this program. And of course, to all our departments, to Meredith and her department, Lewis and his department, Business Affairs, Human Resources, Administration, and Channel 13. And last but definitely not least, to our C&I department, for whatever I needed, they were always there, and our maintenance department. I know Terry said it earlier, but I just wanted to ditto our maintenance department. We have a maintenance department that really works hard. It was so funny when I got there. We started on a Monday morning. The air conditioner was not working in the auditorium. And I ran to North Shore's office, and I was like, the air conditioner is not working. And they said, well, call this number. I called the number, and all I did was say, hello. And they said, we on our way, Miss Dangerfield. I guess they heard it in my voice, but all I said was hello, and they said we're on our way. I mean, it was just that simple. But, you know, I thank them so much from the bottom of my heart for the hard work that they do. Our schools that open their doors, we couldn't do it without Frank Jabbia and the custodial team that he offers us for such a wonderful program. And then every teacher, every day, that's what we're about for new teacher induction, because the better we make our teachers, the better success our students have. And I want to share with you some positive comments that we have received from our new teachers. And this went to our SPED department. We got this from a new teacher. She's a military wife and she travels. And she said, this is the best new teacher induction program I've ever experienced. She said, I love my new parish. And then we got this. It says, STPPS. Thank you all for working so very hard to welcome everyone in with great confidence. Here's to a wonderful 2019-2020 school year, Learning with the Stars. Joanna Gotro, Southeastern teacher resident. So she's a new star resident. She says, thank you all for the opportunity. So what we do, we are making a difference. So in closing, as we lead the way to help our new teachers have a successful journey, I'd like to provide you with an insight of what the day was like for new teacher induction.
New teacher induction is our way in St. Tammany of having teachers come and learn about what our system is good at doing. We are about all of our stakeholders, that's teachers, that's parents, that's community members. So our goal is to give them the pieces that help them be ready for that first day of school.
It's very valuable that they get the big picture and just understand how the process works and just all the wonderful teaching methods with our students, for our students.
The parish has really done a good job on adding to this each year over the years. The new teachers have confidence when they come to the schools now.
New teacher induction is filled with a variety of teachers. We have first-year teachers, we have veteran teachers, and we also have people who participated in our teacher resident program last year. So they spent a year in our classrooms working with a mentor teacher. They went to our job fair, they interviewed, and they received positions for teaching positions this year. So now they're here at New Teacher Induction, and they are preparing for their own classrooms.
It is incredibly exciting. I am a graduate of Mandeville High School, so it's so wonderful that I actually get to work in the parish that I graduated from.
I actually did my residency at the school that I'm going to be teaching at, so that was invaluable because I already know the principal, I know all the policies there and everything, so I'm very excited that I was able to have that opportunity there. It's been really great. It's awesome to be able to meet other new teachers and to get their take on what they're going to be doing next year and where they're going to be, and it's been nice getting to know other people that are in my shoes. I'm ready to get in my classroom, start decorating, getting it all ready for the first day of school, and then see them on the first day of school and meet them. I'm very excited.
I'm super excited. I can't wait to meet my fourth graders.
Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Dangerfield. I was at the presentation, and I just want to say I thought the part that I saw was excellent.
Thank you.
And I heard some positive comments from the new teachers there also. Do we have any comments from any board members or questions? Okay. Ms. Town?
Thank you. Ms. Dangerfield, on the workshop sessions, would you give a little overview of Know Your Who? Because it's listed twice, so it must be important.
A Know Your Who, it's a session that's targeted where it's about understanding the demographics of the student population that you teach. So it's geared to share information about the different populations of students that we have within our school system, and connecting them to resources and helping teachers to better understand how they learn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Hines?
Thank you, Mr. Kuzan. You know, the new teacher induction kind of reminds me of college orientation. Can you imagine going to college without experiencing a little bit of what the campus was like? And I think this program is just invaluable to our teachers because not only do they learn what we expect from them in St. Tammany Parish, they have the opportunity to interact with other new teachers, and they just get that comfort level. And I believe they learn a lot, but they have a little bit of fun, so it just reminds me of college orientation on a different level, on the professional level. And I really appreciate Ms. McGee's efforts and your efforts and everyone's efforts for that day.
Thank you.
Or that week. Thank you.
Ms. Lamy?
I just want to say the same thing again. Thank you for your hard work. I was able to attend, and I guess if our goal is to make lifelong learners, then we've succeeded because I attended all the workshops that I could attend that day. And I'm not in the classroom anymore, but I was totally fired up and calling my teacher friends to just say, like, if you need help, you know what I mean? It was really good, and I really enjoyed it. And I felt really confident with the new teachers that I met there, too. So, but everything was perfect. So thank you for your hard work and everybody else who was involved.
Mr. Winkler?
Ms. Dame, yes, I got to go, and Ms. Dangerfield, you did a great job. And as an administrator, I used to have, for 15 years as a principal, I'd have them come in for a whole day when I first started to go over a lot of the stuff that you all did. But it got to the point where when I'd call them in, all we would do was have lunch because they already knew all the stuff. And now I see why, because this was the first time I was able to go to it. Y'all do such a thorough job. And not only that, these teachers feel like they're on the team when they come out of there. So it's really a great thing you all have done. And like I said on the thing, you all have added to it to where you perfected it. Good job.
Anybody else? Mr. Broad?
Yes, I think this is a great program. I think everybody benefits from that. I have a specific question. We had 13 new residents coming in.
We have a total of 16, but 13 attended.
Okay. And how many did we have last year, and how many of the ones last year kind of went up and became teachers or hired by this parish?
I don't have that count, but I can get it to you. We had a total of 16 last year. I know from the people I recognize, we hired at least 6. I know that we hired more than that, but I don't have the total because we're still hiring, but I can get that for you.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Before I close, I would just like to say, expound on the fact that we have probably the best staff, top to bottom, all areas that I've ever been associated with. And I just want to thank each and every one of you individually for the job that you do in making this system as great as it is. And when I say from the top to the bottom, I mean from right here down. Thank you very much. And with that, no further business. This meeting is adjourned.